welcome back to our channel, Dukes Outdoor and Tech TV. Still they are a family Jamaican redneck, but it is a ruler fight talk, but we change the name, so we are roll out a new name. So for today we are do a follow-up on the solar project that we've been running. If most of you can remember, I posted a video recently showing you a bush system that I've created. Bush meaning I put together the components, solder them and connect them together and get the batteries and such, and was figuring upgrading the system to make it more usable to say at least take my garage off the grid. Now in doing so, I run into a kind of an obstacle, or if you will, a ceiling in the sense that based on the type of battery that I'm using and the system, I mean it's not an integrated system, I would have to get some more battery bank. Why? Because dry cell batteries should not be discharged below 50%. Let's just say 30% is to preserve the battery, because each time you discharge it below 20, you damage the battery. So basically the rule of thumb is not to discharge it below 50. So, okay, so what happens now is, if I want to have a system to be able to run 5 hours a day, which would require rough to run at least 500 watts, so let's say 500 watts, that means I would require a system that have at least 1,000 watt-hour battery bank. So looking at the maths and trying to at least look at how you put that system together, because dry acid battery, these type of batteries pretty much need a lot of maintenance. So having a system that is much bigger than you need make more sense, right? So that means you're going to need a lot more batteries. So you can't just sit away to have 2 batteries right now, and that is not enough battery bank. I would have to probably have 4 batteries, probably 5 to be safe. Again, considering that, you know, this part of the country will not get that much sunlight. So I decided to change the route, because the price that I take to build a system will gonna be astronomical, and we don't like put that much money in our project. So we'll come up with an alternative to all that. Now, we are introduced this to the community. Why? Because those who know are more responsible, need to share information with the community. So this is more geared towards someone who have a house who would like to have a backup system in order for, you know, if there's any disruption to the grid, at least that we have that. The first system that I have, and I'll show it to you in a few minutes, was for a bushman, a bush system. You want to have a water pump in the bush, you want to run, that is your thing. You want to charge up your iPad while you're in the bush off the grid, that is your thing. This one that I'm showing you also is a thing, but again, this is a little bit more involved and detailed. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the BLUETTI AC 200 Mac P, 200 BLUETTI AC 200. I'll turn the camera around in a second to give a better shot. Much better view, right? So this is now the battery bank system that I've replaced this bush system with. As I said earlier, this is a controller, this is your inverter, 1000 watt inverter with 2 dry lead dry cell batteries that I used, and I typically use it to run my TV. So this here was giving me roughly about 1,200 watt hour. But this one here now, the AC200, basically gives you 2,000 watt hour and a surge capacity of I think 4,500, but you could only hold that for just a few seconds. So again, I typically use it to run my TV. So let's just go over a few features of this. So one of the good thing about this battery, this battery pack, is the fact that it have a new technology, a battery technology. The battery technology is called lithium ion phosphate, which is much better than your typical grandfather battery. Why? Because this one you can discharge it all the way down to zero. It have a 3,500 cycle, which says you can cycle it up and down for at least 10 years with no problem. After 10 years, you can look for some degradation of roughly about 20%, which is typical, as opposed to the dry cell batteries, which, if you cycle them several times below 20%, you basically destroy the battery. This one here too is also integrated. It comes with a lot of utility plugs. This is your power button here. You just press that on and it comes right on, and here underneath these silicone pads is your connector. This connector is pretty much used to, like, if you have a power, let's say a RV. This is a 12 volt 25 amps. That's a lot of power. This one here is your typical 12 volt cigarette lighter, and you have some USB ports, 12 volt 3 amps. This one is pretty cool because you can power your laptop right off of that one. So you have USB ports, 5 volt, charge my phone there, and you could look at it too. You could just see that it's pretty much a well-built system. If you're trying to wonder what this is a watt reader. What I'm going to do today is, once I turn the TV on, I'm going to try to see how much watts the TV is pulling from it. So that's basically what you have to do if you want to use one of these. You have to actually know how much watts each one of your appliance draws, so you can at least calculate how much power you're going to have. So right now I'm charging up with solar, because I don't believe in charging up. I have a big wall charger here that could charge this thing up in what, probably about 3 hours or 4 hours. So I have some MC connectors if I have to connect in parallel, or see a parallel battery bank, solar panels. So basically this now being powered. I'll show you in a few minutes the arrangement with, as far as the panel is concerned. Let's just go into some of the features here. Well, I tell you that this is very cool. Let's just go into your settings. So if you touch on your settings, you see you have your AC voltage, AC output frequency, DC input port. So basically this now is being charged by solar, by where is it next? Let me see, where is the solar? Here's the solar. So now this is where it's charged by solar. So it's saying I'm putting in 51 volt 3.5 amp, and I'm pumping out 186 watt, and so far for the day I've made 0.26 kilowatt hour, because it's been pretty much a very cloudy day. I think I might have screwed up the wiring on the panel early, so I didn't really catch some of the earlier, if you will, charging. So now what I am going to do is to turn the TV on, and let's see how much power is drawing. So in order to power AC and DC, so the Roku running on the DC, which is this one, you just press that and it could be on off. Same thing for the AC, on off, which makes that pretty adaptable and useful equipment. You could see here currently it say I'm drawing 43 amps. But overall, 43 watts, sorry, on the TV. But overall, between the two, I'm drawing 72 watts, which suggests that the Roku is drawing more than the TV itself. Unless this is not true, right? So basically what this is saying that I have a pretty much run time of 1,000, roughly about probably 10. Let me see, 1,000 watt. Divided in a few minutes to see what because again, in order to calculate your run time, you divide the wattage used, consumed, by your wattage available. So right now I have 2,000
Center Station in Brooklyn.
watts.
The incident all caught on surveillance video, which we.
So basically I have 2,000 watts times 0.64 for the percentage equal, and now I'm going to divide that by 70. Divide by 70 equal. So basically I have right now, just looking at this, I have 18 hours worth of run time. If I sit here all day and just watch a TV, I probably can't watch it for an entire day from what you're seeing. So again, this is a very nice system, and if a homeowner decide that, hey, you know what, I want a backup system, that something that I can have around just in case of power outage, this is pretty much a good system, because even if you don't want to charge by solar, you can charge it with the again, the wall outlet. If you just want to charge it and, you know, put it away in the closet for storage, that's perfectly fine. For me, I want to at least I want to put it through the test, number one, and also I want to benefit from having it by at least reducing my energy consumption. Cause for me, why invest in getting it if again, for a homeowner is a different story. For me, I like running projects, but if I do it, I'm going to put it through paces. So we touch on this a lot, so let's go over and look at the solar panel arrangements, and then we get back with closing thoughts. As you can see, the backyard setup, like, it's pretty much a small solar farm. So I have basically 3 panels. One of the drawbacks with the BLUETTI is you can't, you have to have a minimum current, I think of about 25 amps or something like that, if my memory serves correct. So therefore you can't really run one panel in order to charge it. It's like if a water pressure, you have to build the pressure to force it in. So what I've used my one Renogy panel that I used earlier to charge the off the grid system, and now I'm using 2 BLUETTI, and I'll do another review on these solar panels, but they are basically suitcase solar panels. Each of these panels is 120, so that gives me 240 watts, and then I have this 100 watt over here, so in all I should be bursting 340 watts, but that not so quick. The calculation, because these are different amperage, when you put them in series, you have to use the lower of the 3 amperage to make your calculations. So because this Renogy have a lower amperage, it kind of keep the system down. So when you calculate it, you're most efficient you can get out of this system now. Even though I have 340 watts a panel, the most I can get out of this these panels right now in this arrangement is about 300 and something, but that still work for me. This here is my homemade panel, the one that I made up, that actually you can swivel it, articulate it, just to meet the sun, because right now the sun's standing up in the middle of the sky, so I should be getting pretty good coverage apart from the shaded area. But if I move and go over there, the video going messed up, so as soon as I stop the video I'll just go back. So basically I just lay them out in the backyard. I just catch the sun anywhere it is. It's a portable system. There's some work in it, and for me, I kind of like moving around and managing it throughout the day, so it's not a really big deal. Now, one thing you have to take in mind if you're trying to set up your own system, you have to get wires. You have to make certain, say at least you get at least around 50 feet of wires and some MC4 connectors, because again, the beauty of this for me is every so often what I do is I lessen the wires. If I'm charging right here in front, I just take off all these long wires. If I need to get to the front of the yard because of where the sun is, then I just, you know, drag the wires around. So again, you need at least 50 feet because the sun is not going to stay one place. Some folks get lucky and their property is well positioned, so they don't have to worry about that, and they get the sun probably all day. But for me, I only get it probably the best based on the coverage with the trees and such. I get it probably 5 hours, which is typical for this side of the country. So again, BLUETTI AC200P. I would recommend this to our homeowner if they're looking for something that is a good backup system. Again, it's a new battery technology lithium iron phosphate, which can give you a lot more cycles, discharge cycles than your typical lithium ion battery, or for that matter the dry cell battery. See, everything plugged right in. All you have to do is just have 18 hours to go. So listen, I'm going to catch some movie. I have 18 hours out of movie for watch, so catch you on the upside. All right, peace.